skip it. See it or skip it. See it or skip it.
Welcome, everybody, to a new See It or Skip It, where we're going to be talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's new biopic film, The Smashing Machine, plus One Battle After Another debuted last week, but we are going to be talking about it this week. We've got a few things that are out on streaming, and I am so excited to be reunited with my two guest hosts, Rebecca and Kent. How's it going?
The gang's back together.
It's been like a month, it feels like.
They tried to keep us away.
Yeah.
They tried. You know, the establishment? I don't know.
Yeah, whoever they are. Yeah.
First of all, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, doing good.
FanX just happened.
Yeah.
FanX,
Are we tired?
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went for 1 day. I didn't do 3 days.
I
like
was
you,
3 days, all day.
Mm-hmm.
It went later this year than it usually does, so wiped.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to next year?
Yeah.
You and I are New York City boys now, so.
Yeah, we're city slickers.
brag.
No big deal. I've been one time, so I'm a pro.
Yep, and like the things that happened this past week are going to be carrying on to next week too. More on that later, but for now, let's jump into One Battle After Another.
You know, you are so unsuitable for my daughter. My child comes from a whole line of revolutionaries. And you look so lost. What are you gonna do about this baby?
You know what freedom is? What? No fear. Go.
Paul Thomas Anderson is back.
Yeah.
Teamed with Leo DiCaprio for the first time in both their careers. We've got Benicio del Toro rewriting his entire character in the first day of set. This is a story that I don't even really know how to say other than it's a try to get your daughter back story.
Yes.
But what
Yeah.
else is there?
Yeah.
Everything.
Very, I guess, culturally significant, right? Because there's a lot of immigration stories, police presence in major cities. Chase Infinity, by the way, do you guys know the origin of her name?
No.
She's named after Chase Meridian from Batman.
Amazing.
And
Stop it.
To Infinity and Beyond from Toy Story.
The Chase Meridian one is a real cool pull. I'm into that.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman, you could do better than Keith. I'm so mad about
Clearly
that.
she
Dude,
is.
let's
Yeah.
talk about Keith Urban.
We can't sign
Fumble of a
Is this a
lifetime.
gossip show now?
Well, I just had to say it. You know, girl, you have a good life and get away from bad men like that, you know?
I hope all their hair straighteners were predetermined in the prenup.
I love what was the line that I kept hearing? It's like what she said after she had divorced with Tom Cruise. I can wear heels now.
Yeah.
So the same thing applies in this case to Keith.
I also read, she was going to movies by herself all the time anyways.
Yeah.
As we
Well,
saw
what's
in the
wrong with
AMC
that?
ads, right? Nothing.
Movies by yourself, it's the way to go.
Yeah.
It's the only way I go. All right, so One Battle After Another. We love this, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, tell me about it, Rebecca.
What do you want to know? Like the plot?
Your feelings, your thoughts.
Initially, I left the movie and I was torn between 4.5 stars or 5 stars. And ultimately, the 5-star movie for me, because it is one of those movies where everyone's talking about it. And the more I hear people talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, that movie actually rocked. And it was so much fun. It's, I think, pretty simple in its premise. Leonardo DiCaprio ultimately trying to get his daughter back, and in the long run, doesn't do anything meaningful to help in her escape.
Yeah.
But his presence is so infectious throughout the whole movie. And Benicio del Toro, supporting actor win for me, I think. He, as Sensei, I think he's such a killer character, and I really love everything he did.
I was a bit conflicted at first because I'm like, I love Paul Thomas Anderson, anything he does. But I'm like, who am I rooting for here? You know, because you've got like the domestic terrorists, you have the evil military guys with Sean Penn leading the charge, and you've got this other organization. I'm like, oh no, is there a hero? But obviously you do have a hero here, and it's probably Chase Infinity,
Oh, for sure.
to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, these are all morally great characters in their own way, but the way this film is shown and the cinematography, every shot is purposeful, and it feels like cinematic magic, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and this is based off a novel that was, I think you were reading this,
I did.
weren't you?
It's based off a Thomas Pynchon novel called Vineland, and I just finished it. Very loosely based on the book. A lot of Paul Thomas Anderson took a lot of his own liberties with the book. And
About
the
20 years
adaptation.
old, both
is,
his
yeah.
screenplay idea and the book.
Yeah, because the book takes place in the 90s, I want to say. And a lot of similarities, but I really like how Paul Thomas Anderson changed it and made it his own. The book was good. I am not like in love with it, but I liked the movie more than the book.
What makes a good adaptation, in my opinion, is when they both stand on their own without needing support from each other, right? Like the Jurassic Park movie and the Jurassic Park book are both equally as good, but they're so different from each other in many ways. And One Battle After Another has that because Paul Thomas Anderson is able to infuse so much of what his directing style is into it. And then he's open to collaborating with all of his people. Benicio del Toro basically wrote his character with a week before they started shooting.
And it's a
which is
killer
insane
character.
to me. And it's really, maybe the MVP of the entire show. It feels like if Rage Against the Machine and The Big Lebowski had a baby, that's what this movie is.
Honestly.
And the only thing that bugged me was the pacing. There are some parts where that beginning opening thing feels more like a prologue than anything.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have revisited it more like perspective moments from what was happening on that side. But I understand them not doing it. But
I remember I checked my watch when we got to, because there was the whole establishing of like who Leonardo DiCaprio and Tiana Taylor are and their group and who they are, and Sean Penn as well, like establishing their whole history before really getting into the meat of the movie. And it was about 25 minutes long. And I remember thinking, oh, okay, we kind of do need this first 25 minutes to really actually care about these characters. Same reason, I use Gladiator as an example, because Gladiator takes 45 minutes to make you care about Russell Crowe before getting to the gladiatorness of it all.
Right.
And that's what One Battle After Another does, and I think it does it really well.
Did it need to be 2 hours and 40 minutes? Could have been longer. I guess that's
Could it
that's
have
the
been
question.
Longer?
I mean, yeah, right.
well, I guess if it's great, then there's no movie that
Yeah.
You
couldn't
look
be
at
too
these
long.
kind of directors, they may have a 4-hour cut somewhere and then they pull it back to maybe 3. That's the thing. I saw this one a little bit late at night and I was like, okay, I'm kind of dragging a little bit. But it really does. Like from the very beginning, it just doesn't really let up.
Yeah.
At least in that first act.
I liked the length of it. I agree. I'm very much on team like 2-hour-long movies, but I thought this one was great. Like you said, it doesn't let up, and I was like focused the entire time and drawn in by what was happening.
Yeah.
In that third act, when they have this chase sequence where you're winding up and down these roads that are just continuously going up
Why
and
does
down.
it work so well?
Because the cinematography is incredible. The editing is incredible for that. The way that you don't even expect what's coming until it's right. You are in the car with them, essentially. You don't know what's coming over the hill, just like the next person.
The payoff of that scene, the row behind me started clapping.
It was
And I was like, yeah.
it almost to the same effect as when the truck in The Dark Knight lifted and like just the shock value of something that happens in this is so good. I think this is definitely a runner-up for Best Picture. This is going to be nominated for as many categories as they could possibly put it in. But what do you think is going to win? Are we talking performances or are we talking technical?
I think Benicio del Toro for supporting, I think for sure. Maybe adapted screenplay?
Yeah, I think technical adapted screenplay for sure.
That's a solid 2 picks.
Yeah.
So this is a see it for all of us.
Yes, it is.
100%.
It is in theaters right now. You guys can go and check this out. And with that being said, there's a few more that's out in theaters. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the Smashing Machine.
Please give a round of applause for Mark Curry.
Hello, and thank you to everyone for allowing me to be here today. You have been extremely understanding to me, dealing with my personal struggles.
The Graviton! Let's do it. He's the best.
There's no way I can't do that.
Why?
Why? Because of my tummy. You know what that would do to my tummy. I would get sick everywhere.
No, it's about perspective, okay?
Just let you live without a trace.
On the inside, you don't feel it. You're like pinned against the wall.
Did he smash?
He smashed.
But no machines.
I didn't see it.
He's more of a grappler than a smasher.
He's a
Okay.
wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Which is not a far leap from where he actually is.
before
you know?
before it's MMA or UFC, which
So-
I think it's MMA, right?
So this is the story of Mark Kerr, who started, MMA, and he was in the early days of the UFC, and clearly he had to join this other organization that was in Japan because
Called
maybe there
Pride.
were some issues with the UFC, and so he's kind of
Issues within the UFC.
I know, right? Strange.
Well, there's weird things with it. It's also like fighting playing styles are being adapted and rules are finally being made in this group. So Mark Kerr has kind of been on the other side of being able to, like, the only way I can do certain things and win my matches is by doing now illegal moves. And so how do I adapt from that? Then there's a lot of substance abuse stuff going on. Him and Emily Blunt are in this relationship that's toxic.
Does she take the kids and go stay at her sister's?
She goes on a jungle cruise, actually. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
So it's interesting. Going into this movie, I thought, I've seen fighting movies. We all have. We've seen the tragic biopics as well. And so I know where this is going to go. And actually, in the movie, they're leading up with these two friends. Are they going to face off in the end? And
Who's the friend?
His name is Mark.
Something.
Yeah, Mark Coleman, I believe.
Played by?
That's a good question.
Nobody knows.
What are you doing to us?
I know, but honestly, performances are great here, but you kind of go, I've seen this movie before, but then the movie reminds you it's actually a true story. And so you actually probably don't know the story, and it's not as exciting as you think it would be.
Interesting.
That's the thing. Like, the top marks on this goes completely to Dwayne Johnson.
Absolutely.
He does prove that he has acting talent and capability that's not just going to be in a jungle trying to punch his way out of stuff or Black Adam. He actually has some good acting chops. And he loses, which is in his contract that he can't.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of the man. He decided to let his guard down a little, be a little more sensitive.
A24 is really pushing this movie. I'm a member of the A24 club, the AAA club, and I've been getting so many emails about the Smashing Machine.
Well, it's a Safdie movie.
Yeah.
It's the Safdie brothers, but it's Benny Safdie who made this movie. And it's The Rock actually trying to act.
Yeah.
And truth be told, I don't think Dwayne Johnson needed makeup for this movie. I think he may look a little bit more like Mark Kerr, but I think he wanted to put makeup on to remove you from, hey, I know that charismatic actor.
Sure.
And he didn't need it. He was
sometimes
that good.
I don't know if he needed it personally for himself.
Sure.
Like, I need to disappear into this character, and the only way I can do it is if I can't see myself anymore. And, like, I don't know what the actor's choices are for those kind of things, but you're right. I think the performance still stands on its own, with or without that. There's some supporting. Emily Blunt, I think, is great in it. She really is kind of one note with what she's able to do there. She's the crazy girlfriend that is
Take my kids to go to my sister's.
yeah, kind of. The style of the film itself is very much documentary filmmaking. So yeah, it's very close-up camera work. You're kind of like behind the locker room type of camera stuff. I think it worked well, but you're right. Nothing really hits a high note that you expect boxing movies and fighting movies to get, because they're so emotional and they build up to like a big match or a big moment, and it happens, and then the movie ends. You go, wait, that was the moment?
It's almost the anti-Warrior. Remember when Warrior came out, and it's the kitchen sink of fighting movies, where it's fake, it's fiction, so you're kind of like, they can do anything in this movie, and this is such a fun, beautiful story, but it's all fiction. This one is real, and it's like, reality's kind of ugly, and guess what? Not very funny, right? And so you kind of sit there and go, did this guy deserve a biopic or not?
Well, so then let's talk about Iron Claw, right? Because Iron Claw, family of nothing but sad stories, they had to cut out a brother because it was too sad.
There's just too many.
There's too many sad stories. Like, how would you compare the two?
Well, there's a lot more at stake with that. Like with Iron Claw, you're dealing with loss of life and things. With Smashing Machine, this is like a loss of identity. Like he's going through a bit of an identity crisis when he not necessarily loses, but it ends with a tie, and he's trying to grapple with, okay, how do I adapt to this new world with all these changing rules, but also I'm now, dealing with substance abuse. How do I get out of that situation?
Yeah, it's more of just a personal slice of life story of this is what you sacrifice to be a fighter. But
he's
not
such
like
a gentle giant, right?
Yeah, he is.
Mark Kerr is such a gentle giant. Like, he will say thank you and hi to everybody. And I won't spoil what they do at the end, but they do something in the end that I think was very touching. And I don't think I've seen happen in a lot of biopics like this. That was really cool. But for me, I would say this is a see it, but I would put an asterisk that it's going to be for your Tuesday $5 movie.
Absolutely. I was thinking either, a cheap movie day, and I hate to say streaming when it goes to streaming, but it's such a great performance movie. You want to see it, but it's not a big screen experience entirely.
Do you foresee Dwayne Johnson in getting nominated for an
He'll
Academy
get nominated
Award?
for a Golden Globe. I don't think the Oscars are very kind to people that are just now trying to make it into the acting categories.
Sure. I mean, Ariana Grande, though, like...
There's always a chance.
Yes.
But I don't think he's going to win anything.
Sure.
The nomination is going to be the best bet for him. So
Okay.
I don't know. Hopefully we get to see more from him. I know he's working with Benny Safdie on another one, and we'll keep
I'm
swinging it.
excited to see him act, and with Scorsese as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, let's move into this very experimental horror film centered in the POV of a good boy.
He's a good boy. Indy the dog.
Indy the dog, the new star that will be nominated for Best Actor, is on my sheets at least. I'm going to be writing him in
the
for
Hall
everything.
of Fame of great dog actors, Air Bud, Messi from Anatomy of a Fall.
You did that before Beethoven or last Scooby-Doo?
Listen.
Old Yeller.
It's a lot of...
Yeah. No, so this movie's interesting. It's a 73-minute movie, so barely even a feature. It was meant to go straight to Shudder and streaming.
It's the perfect length, honestly.
Yeah, it is. But because it got so much fervor online, they're like, we're going to release it in theaters, see if we can make some money. And it's a good move for them. I don't know if it will entirely pay off.
Yeah.
Because I think now that we're in October, we all want to be a little scared. I don't know if Good Boy is the movie to do it.
Were you scared, Rebecca?
I wasn't scared, but I was. So I watched this at home, and typically I'm a little distracted when I'm watching movies at home. I was laser focused on this movie the entire time.
I have to because you can't see anything.
It is a very dark movie. It is a very darkly lit movie. But as a horror fan, I know what to look for in a horror movie, so I was paying attention to the background of a lot of shots and trying to focus in a lot of, Indy is obviously seeing something, can we, the audience, see it? So I was laser focused on this movie the entire time. It is a little heavy-handed on the metaphors.
Yeah.
That said, I really, really love when a movie takes a risk. And this movie took a risk and it did something different. And I thought it was great. I really enjoyed myself.
I think the different was too different. I think they could have actually played more on tropes. It'd been like, hey, it's from a dog's POV, and a dog can see things that we can't. But instead, the story they went with, I don't think it worked at all.
When we were doing Good Things Utah, Nisha had asked me, do we hear the dog? Do we hear his thoughts? I was like, not that kind of horror movie. It's
like you hear, like he whimpers and
he definitely whines stuff, but it's not like ruh-roh when something comes in, right? I don't know. I don't know with this. It's a really cool experiment, and it is really scary. Like when my dog is looking at the corner of a room and I don't know why, and then like a little subtle growl, it's like, what are you looking at? What's going on?
Yeah.
But this owner is so aloof. Maybe the worst dog owner. And it bugged me so much. There's no one redeemable in this story except the poor dog that's walking through a haunted house pretty much the whole time. It's too dark. I can't see anything. And whenever that happens, I already check out.
And I think the time jumps are too distracting for the movie. You're like, where are we in the story?
But I love the experiment, though. I still like the idea. I just don't know if it worked as well. And maybe that's just not showing as many things as they could have. And I don't mean just in the picture. I mean like more characters. Actually flesh out that dude. Like what is he about?
I really loved that it was open to interpretation. Like, is he a drug addict or has he got a disease that he can't survive?
Right.
I really liked that we had to piece it together and kind of figure it out. I really love the actor. You don't see his face until the end. I really like the choices they made. You guys are wrong.
That's okay.
No, listen, Indy is the cutest.
That's the thing. It's tough to give it a skip it when I want the dog to eat. He's a working actor. You know what I mean?
Well, like, I know I'm biased because I love dogs and I love horror movies. So this was some catnip for me, right?
Funny.
I had the same feeling of disappointment as I did in A Violent Nature. It's from the killer's perspective. I'm like, cool, I would love to see a different take on the horror genre. And I'm like, oh, you're so close.
And that's the thing. And in A Violent Nature, overall, it's okay. Some amazing kills.
Yeah.
If you like inventive kills, In A Violent Nature is awesome.
Yes.
The same kind of goes for A Good Boy. Like, there's no real... it's not a slasher movie, but there are some things that happen within the movie where you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the concept of a dog can tell if you have cancer before you do.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the whole time I was watching this movie and like wondering, oh, is that what's happening with this owner?
Yeah.
Or the loyalty of a dog to someone that, you know, the dog may be in trouble, but the dog sticks around instead of maybe should run.
Yeah.
Right?
And the dog should have run multiple times.
Absolutely.
But, man, Indy, I'm so excited for you, boy. Good boy. It was great.
He's a good boy.
That being said, it's probably going to be a wait for it for me. I don't think it's worth in a theater.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think
You
should
loved
see
it. You loved it.
$5 Tuesday?
I think you should see it.
Okay, in
Yeah.
the theater?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Wait for Shudder. It'll be out in a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Wait for Shudder. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, let's jump into what's happening on streaming. And Glenn Powell is starting football for us with Chad Powers.
This is insane! Oh my goodness!
Georgia's picked the ball up.
Georgia is going to win a championship!
What was Holiday thinking?
It's time for you to move on.
There's just one problem, Dad. I'm not done with football.
South Georgia's having open tryouts. I'm gonna do a Mrs. Doubtfire,
But with football.
You here to try out? What's your name?
Jay.
And last name?
I don't know much about this backstory. It's got to do with the Manning brothers.
Yeah, it's a commercial joke, essentially.
Really?
Yeah, with Eli Manning doing this.
So like
this
Ted
joke.
Lasso.
Yeah, and that's what the show becomes. This is Ted Lasso, where you have Glenn Powell as like, was he a college football player?
He was a college football player.
And basically something bad happened. A lot of bad luck.
A couple Mr. Magoo's.
I wasn't expecting
It to go as deep
dark as it did. They do such a phenomenal job of setting up this guy.
That you kind of hate him.
He drives a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Like
That's all you're here to say.
Enough said.
He drives a Cybertruck. He gets involved in crypto. Like
Yeah.
they establish so quickly and so efficiently, this guy sucks.
Yeah. But then he's like, oh, there's an opportunity. Yes, I've ruined my career, but maybe I could play football again.
Well,
Because he loves it
he's
so
the
much.
most cancelable person right now, and he Mrs. Doubtfires his way back in by putting on prosthetics from his dad because his dad works in Hollywood, takes thousands of dollars worth, goes to tryouts, puts on this entirely new persona with the help of a friendly mascot friend who was pretty hilarious. I loved him in it. And we just kind of get to see him being the fish out of the water, figuring out how to, go swimming with all of your prosthetics on and all of the hijinks that come with that.
Lie about his identity
And
the
he's
entire
not,
time.
he's not a long-term thinker. He does a lot of this on a whim. And even when it comes to come up with a new name for himself, he even says, I'll wing it. Like, I'll come up with it on the spot. And he fumbles that.
Yep.
And so it's really interesting to see this character who doesn't have a plan go forward with this goal that he has.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely one. How many episodes? I
So
think
there'll be
10,
6
8.
episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
altogether.
And
loved
there's
it.
2 out now?
Yeah,
First
2 out.
two, and I think the first 2 are very strong. I'm looking forward to seeing where this is going. And you were talking to us just earlier. Glenn Powell is a force in front of the camera, but behind the camera.
Yeah, he's like a stealth producer of a lot of stuff, like that Blue Angels documentary. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he produced that after he did Top Gun, and he's one of the creators for Chad Powers. And I think in a couple of years we're going to see him as a director.
He helped write Hitman as
helped
well,
write
Richard
Hitman,
Linklater.
yeah.
So he really is understanding the process and going through it. Just don't be cancelable. Don't be like your character.
Yeah, truly.
We really like
Well,
you.
did you see that interview he did where he was at like some Hollywood shindig and there was a recently canceled guy who wanted to get a picture with him and he was like, ooh, I don't know.
He's like, I'm trying to get famous, please stop. I think the show has a lot of potential. I think this is kind of, even though Ted Lasso is coming back officially, are you okay?
Yeah, I just think.
Don't Toy Story 4.
I just think
yeah,
it's
it's
okay.
done.
It's
It's
okay
done.
to leave things.
See,
be
and I
dead.
think this could take its place, even content-wise, because you have some language here, which Ted Lasso also had. So it's a little more on the mature side, but it's really fun and kind of lighthearted at the same time.
Ted Lasso injects wholesomeness like directly into your veins.
Yeah.
Though I don't think Chad Powers is that.
Okay.
I think Ted Lasso.
It's a little more crass. There's no one that's just genuinely the most. Well, maybe, but not, because that guy makes crazy jokes in there that's like really
You
offensive.
want Steve Zahn to do well, but then you're like, oh, you're kind of crummy.
I love Steve
Yeah.
Zahn.
Yeah.
That actor's.
They've established a lot of people are not so good
Yeah.
in this universe.
Unredeemable characters, but put in situations that are fun to watch.
And maybe they learn and grow along the way. That's what I would like to see.
Can Chad Powers grow along the way? Stay tuned for the 6-episode series. I think it's a see it, though.
Yeah, it's a see it.
For sure, see it.
All right. Well, Glenn Powell, please come on the show.
Yeah.
There was a documentary that came out a couple weeks back that was completely flew under the radar for me. And then I started hearing murmurings from people and posts. This Unknown Number documentary. is insane.
Yeah, I had no idea about it until I started seeing posts about it on Twitter, and I was like, what are these people talking about?
Well, isn't it funny how Netflix advertises their own stuff, and you're like, oh, it's another Netflix documentary. But this thing has gone viral at this point.
On the surface level, this is a story that's basically just kids are getting harassed by this unknown number. This couple that was in a relationship was broken up, and now suddenly, like, the most horrifyingly gross, crass, inappropriate messages are being thrown out, harassing these kids. The police are trying to figure out what's going on. The families are trying to figure out what's going on. And I don't want to say anything else, because when this gets into the second half of, and it's just a hour and a half show, you can watch it. It's a breeze. It's not one of those 4-part documentaries or anything. Once that second part happens, and they don't even really say it like as a big reveal. They just kind of say it passingly, and you just kind of go, "Wait, what? What was that? What?"
I think what the documentary does so well is it promotes these red herrings, where you see this bully, and you're like, "I don't like her."
Oh yeah, it's this cousin. It's the bully.
And every time you see someone, you're like, "And I hate that person now," and you're like, "Good job, documentary." And then when they finally show who the person is or people behind this, you kind of just go, "Oh, okay."
But that bully did suck.
Yeah.
Because they also interview the parents of the cousin, and you see it in the parents. You're like, you're also not fostering like a super great environment for everyone to be in.
Yeah.
I hope that people check this one out, because it really did go out and come out of nowhere, and it's so quick to watch. It's a breeze. Like, it might be one of my favorite documentaries, just by way of, like, this was a crazy little Tiger King like package of something.
But I feel like I needed more, right? Because
closure?
Because halfway through filming, the person who was doing it decided, oh, I actually do want to be involved. And the way that the documentarians approach this person in particular, didn't love it.
Yeah, they promote them.
It's a little more unbiased than actually trying to like hold them accountable.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We're here to judge.
We're here to judge, and that's what this show is really based on, is like finding out who did it and then just
shaming them into oblivion.
Shaming them. Yep, like Rebecca, Ted Lasso, just ring the bell.
No one to quit.
Yep. Okay, so there's 2 more. These are the only ones that I've seen because I'm crazy, and I was like, let's see if we can get past these. But I do want to say, this Monsters Ed Gein story with Charlie Hunnam from Ryan Murphy. We've gotten 2 of these already. We got the Dahmer series on Netflix, and then we also got the brothers, the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
The Menendez brothers is probably my favorite of the 3.
And that's the one that's had the most hype. Like those 2 actors after the fact have gotten a lot of hype.
Well, because there's a real possibility that they could be released from prison. Like, there are things that are more redeemable than just, let's look at this horrible, awful person and almost glorify the actions.
The Dahmer story is horrible. Like, it made me feel ill.
Well, even the victims' families were like, hey, it would be awesome if you didn't do this.
Right. And Ryan Murphy, if there's anything you know about him, he's going to glorify and really exploit marginalized groups. And in this case, I feel like he does.
So Ed Gein, right? He's one, like, the original serial killer, right?
Well, not only that,
he's the grossest.
He spanned so many Hollywood stories. Like, he spanned Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho.
How much do they glorify him in this?
Well, I mean, what would you want for it? You know,
well,
like they're gonna show the creepiness, right? But they're also gonna show what his mindset was.
Okay.
And in that, it's the way that they show the sequence, right? If it seems like there's fun music and he's just like doing things, like that's one thing. But if they're showing real consequences and real like fear and stuff, that's another. I think this is balancing that a little bit too much. I don't like it being right on the line where you feel gross watching.
I think it really sucks too that they cast hotties.
Yeah, so how's Charlie Hunnam? Speaking of.
Yeah.
Not a hottie. He's a naughty in this one. He's very naughty. I don't think this is one that people should check out, though. If you want to, just beware. You're going to feel gross after. You're going to want to take a shower. But it's 8 episodes. Have fun.
8 episodes.
Who does Ryan Murphy have blackmail on? Because
to keep getting his shows made.
Well, he's an exec producer on so many things.
Well, and that's the other thing too. He's got a new series coming out with Kim Kardashian, and so like how in bed like with the Kardashians,
right?
In order to get his stuff made.
I'm not keeping up with that.
Turn of phrase.
All right. Well, with just about a minute left, there's just one more. Steve, this is from starring Cillian Murphy. This is out on Netflix as well. This is one of those teacher having to deal with an awful situation with a school full of kids that are both going through substance substance recovery and just genuinely causing problems for everybody. It's a pretty good film. I think it would be good if you were seeing it on a weekend, but it does talk a lot about substance abuse and about the dangers of what can happen with that. So if you have a chance, go ahead and check that out. But that's the end of the show. We've got 30 seconds left. Kent, where can people find you?
Okay, you can find me at the Bacon Cell Podcast and ShowtimeShowdown.com.
Rebecca, where can they find you?
Every week on the Geek Show podcast and my Star Trek podcast TV show in space.
And if you want to see more of our stuff, go ahead and put that QR code in your phone. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Thanks, everybody, as always, for watching. Here's a sneak peek at what we're going to be talking about next week. Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. It's so great meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
I need you to take the ink bottom out. If I do that, it'll blow up. Not if you do it quick. Oops.